How's it going, Crusaders? Welcome back to another sermon. Today we're checking out Jesus' leadership. This will be a very short sermon. We're just going to check out a couple of verses explaining, going into detail, and providing some stories where it talked about his leadership. And I am going to mix up and mess up a lot of these names that we're going to be mentioning today, but nonetheless, we're going to get it done. So, right off the bat, I want to check out Jesus is our high priest. In Nehemiah 12, verses 1 through 26, this passage provides a register of priests and Levites, highlighting the importance of verifying the legitimacy of those who led worship in the post-exilic period. It lists the succession of high priests, including Jeshayu, Joachim, Elishib, Joabdiah, Jonathan, and Jaddua. Verses 12 through 21 detail the later heads of the priestly family who arrived with Zerubbabel. The record mentions being kept during the reign of Darius the Persian, which is believed to be Darius II or the Third. The next thing I want to check out is the suffering servant brings justice. So in Isaiah 42 verses 1 through 4, the passage introduces a servant whom God upholds and in whom he delights. God places his spirit upon this servant, enabling them to bring forth justice. The servant will not shout or raise their voice, but will bring forth justice faithfully and without faltering until it is established on earth. The servant will not break a bruised reed or extinguish a smoldering wick, demonstrating a gentle and patient approach to their task. The servant's mission is to bring justice to the nations, not just to Israel. The coastlands will wait for the servant's law, suggesting a widespread impact of their work. I'm sure you all can realize who he's talking about here. So, the final thing that I want to check out today, I'm not going to say this is the most important one, but it is something to pay close attention to. We're talking about the faithful shepherd. Jeremiah 23, verses 1 through 8. The passage begins with a woe to the shepherds who have destroyed and scattered God's flock, rather than nurturing and protecting them. Despite the shepherd's failings, God vows to personally gather the remnant of his flock from all lands and bring them back to their own. God promises to raise up a righteous branch, which is a king from the line of David, who will rule with justice and righteousness, bringing peace and prosperity to the land. This passage concludes with a promise that the people will no longer be afraid and that they will be fruitful and multiply in the land. So the branch is a metaphor for a future king who will be a source of hope and salvation for God's people. The passage also speaks of a new exodus, a greater gathering and restoration of God's people than the first exodus from Egypt. So that's really all I've got for today, but this does highlight, explain, and really go into detail of just God explaining who this leader is going to be, what he's going to do, what he's going to accomplish, what his purpose is, and many other things that I feel like are looked over when you go over these verses. His leadership is much more than that of a general or a sergeant or a boss or any other title that you can give as someone at the top or in charge or anything of that sort, really. His leadership is something that us as worldly humans can't really explain, because it's something that we could never do, comprehend, or achieve, basically. His leadership is like no other, and it's something that is a very desirable trait in someone. And just blessed to have him. So, Crusaders, that's really all I've got for today. We're less than 6 minutes in this video, but this is definitely something that should not be passed over, looked over, and something that you should dive into and check out for yourself. That's all I've got for today. I will catch you all Monday for the Bible study. Thanks, Crusaders.